Friedman is the most popular rabbi on YouTube.
Manis Friedman.
YouTube's most popular rabbi.
He's a counselor, lecturer, and philosopher. Rabbi Manis Friedman combines ancient Torah wisdom with modern-day wit and purpose.
What do the halachas look like?
Are you allowed to kill a civilian? What makes him a non-threat? Because he's not wearing a uniform.
So you're saying a human shield is not a civilian?
When two Arab nations are at war, there are no human shields. Why? And of course, the same is true with hostages. Two Arab countries are at war. They never take hostages. Okay, so going back to Yishmael, it makes sense that they don't really want two states.
Right.
That's an insult. You're going to give me my state when I'm the heir and I'm the, right? They don't see civilians among Jews. There are no Jewish civilians. And every baby is the enemy. It makes sense because every baby and every Jew is an inheritor, is an heir, which is the threat. But that also tells us what our reaction should be. Now we understand why offering territory hasn't made anything better, has made it worse.
It just emboldens them more.
Because it proves,
it's insulting.
Because it proves that we don't really believe that it's our inheritance. Because if it was your inheritance, why are you giving it away? You're feeling guilty. It plays right into their beliefs. And by the way, if it is an inheritance, and it is, we can't give it away.
It's not ours to give.
Because, first of all, it belongs to every Jew, not to five guys sitting in the Knesset.
Mm-hmm.
What is that called? The war
cabinet?
The war cabinet?
Yeah.
But more than that, it belongs to every future Jew. Hasn't even been born yet. It also explains why the Torah mentions it over and over, and it's an inheritance once and for all. Say it to Avraham, and you don't have to repeat it. No. He repeats it to Yitzchak, and he repeats it to Yaakov, and he repeats it to Moshe Rabbeinu, and he repeats it to Yeshua. Torah knows our weakness. We can't stand up for our rights. So what would be the right answer? So first of all, it's like a stab in the heart every time an Israeli politician says, we have the right to defend ourselves. It's so pathetic. Every kid in a schoolyard says, I have a right to defend myself. It's just so...
It's elementary. Of course you do.
And it's not a right, it's an obligation. The whole thing is just pathetic. And then the only democracy how many times are you going to say that? And will you check and see if it ever got you anywhere? Did it ever do any good to say you're a democracy? Being a democracy in the Middle East is the problem, not the solution. You're living in a religious environment, and you keep telling them how secular you are. What are you thinking? What are you expecting? Insanity means doing the same thing and
expecting different results.
Yeah.
So what are you suggesting?
The first thing is we have to tell the world with absolute confidence we are the chosen people. Ki beYitzchak yikara l'chazara v'lo yirash ben ha'om ha'azais im b'ni im Yitzchak. Not only because the Torah says so, but because Yishmael, the original, admitted it. When Avraham died, Yishmael came to the Levaya, and Yitzchak went in front. Because he knew Yitzchak is the inheritor. Now his children, so to speak, his ideological children, have to realize the same thing and do tshuva. But our job is to let the world know that Avraham's children, not ideological children, Ideologically, we're not exactly his children. If you're dancing in that, right?
Yeah.
But biologically, we are the factual inheritors of this land. So back off. Now, how powerful is that argument? I can imagine people saying, "Oh, so you think you're the inheritor, so why will that convince anybody?" See, that's because you're thinking like Esav. Israel behaves in its war with Yishmael as if it's fighting Esav. Because in Europe, for 2,000 years, we have been fighting Esav. Don't realize this is not the same guy? You know, the Torah says, Rashi, right? The first Rashi in Torah. Why does the Torah begin with Chumash Bereshis? The entire Chumash should start with the first mitzvah. To tell you that if the time comes when the nations will say, you stole our land, we will tell them, Bereshis Bora Elikim. And God gives the land to whoever he chooses. That's why we have the whole Sefer Bereshis. To show how the land became ours, because the Eibishter took it from Canaan. First he gave it to Canaan, then he took it from Canaan and he gave it to us. Same question. Oh, so now that we have that answer, we're safe? We're going to just get up in the world and say, haven't you looked at Rashi?
Ferish Rashi.
Haven't you have a Ferish Rashi? And you think people are going to be impressed? The answer is absolutely.
Really?
Well, first we need the confidence. First, we have to know what the Rashi says before we can stand up to the world.
That's the hope with an episode like this, is that people can have that confidence and that, you know, and not waver on this.
And have the confidence not only that you're right, but that when you say it, everyone will buckle.